Hi, Solstice Cleansers. My name is Donna, and I'm going to be sharing some yoga with you this evening. I hope that some of you can join me live, and welcome to those of you who are going to join me later. Hi, Abra. The yoga sequence that we're going to use through this cleanse program is called the 5 Tibetan Rites. They're called the 5 Tibetan Rites of Rejuvenation. And they are perfect for this cleanse, which is focusing around the spleen, because amongst other things, they stretch and they open and compress alternately the spleen area. Hi, Abra. Welcome. So I'm going to also share with you afterwards a little crib sheet that you can use to do the practice on your own, and you can also watch this video back. The 5 Tibetan Rites of Rejuvenation, they start with 3 repetitions each of 5 exercises, 5 practices, and you can work up, and what I'll be doing is supporting you in working up. You can work up to a maximum of 21 repetitions of each of the practices, each of the exercises, or you can stay with 3, or you can go anywhere in between. So it's entirely up to how you're feeling in your energy levels, whether you want to stay with the 3 repetitions or whether you want to work up to the 21. So let us start this evening, and bear with me, I'm going to move my camera when I go to the floor. Just before we start with the 5 Tibetans, I'm going to invite you to come to a comfortable seat and get yourself grounded, get yourself centered, get yourself ready for practice. And this might be a nice thing for you to do first thing in the morning when you start your day, or it might be something that you can integrate maybe into your lunch hour or into the start of your evening. But it's best if it's done on an empty stomach. So it's best maybe if you get up in the morning, have a drink of water, do your 5 Tibetans. And I'm going to start this first one with a short grounding and centering exercise. So feel free to find yourself a comfortable seat. I'm sitting on the ground, I'm sitting cross-legged, but you can be sitting in a chair if you like. Sitting anywhere where you can be comfortable. And feel your spine grow tall. Feel your spine stacking over your sit bones, the base of your pelvis. And feel the crown of your head reaching tall above your sit bones and your spine. And I would invite you to close your eyes and let your hands rest comfortably. Mine, I have the backs of my hands on my legs, and I have my palms towards the sky, but you can use that, or you can use anything which works for your body. So give yourself a few moments to check in, to really arrive, to welcome you and welcome yourself to this process. Notice how you're breathing this evening or this morning, whenever you're listening. Notice how your breath feels. Maybe you're feeling rested, maybe you're feeling a little agitated. Simply notice how you're feeling, how you're breathing. And after you've spent a few breath cycles simply noticing how your breath feels, then I would invite you to begin to perhaps invite a slightly longer breath, maybe to the count of 3 or 4. With an equal inhale and exhale. So maybe slightly deeper than your natural breath, but not so deep that it causes any tension. A deep and strong inhale and an equal and full exhale. Inhaling 3, 2, 1, and exhaling 3, 2, 1. And focusing on continuing that equilibrium. And just for the next few breaths, as we embark on this cleansing process, this process of inviting our system to shed, to let go of what's no longer serving us. And that is, it's completely in tune with what's going on in nature at the moment. As the leaves at this time of the autumn equinox, the equal day and equal night, which is why I'm inviting you to cultivate an equal inhale and exhale. We're mirroring nature. We're mirroring the equilibrium of the day and the night. We're mirroring that with our breath. An equilibrium between the inhale and the exhale. So as without, so within. And as you cultivate that equilibrium with your breath, give yourself a few breaths to reflect on your intention. What is it that you are inviting your body to shed? Like the leaves, like the trees shed their leaves at this time of year. The trees shed their leaves because they are no longer of service. What is it in this cleansing process that you are inviting your body to release, inviting your body to let go of? Give yourself a few more breaths to let your intention really crystallize, and let your intention really ground itself in the process of your breath and the process of your body, the process of your being. Enjoy your last round of breath here. And bringing your hands together at your heart center, the center of your chest. And bowing your head towards your heart. And gently opening your eyes. So we're going to start with the 5 Tibetans. And our first practice, our first exercise is a standing one. So bringing yourself carefully to standing. I'm just carefully going to move the camera. And you're going to bring yourself to standing. have a yoga mat down here. You don't necessarily need one if you don't have one. So we're going to bring our feet together, big toe joints together, and inside of the feet touching, zipping your legs up and taking your arms wide with your palms down, taking your gaze straight ahead. And we're going to turn in a clockwise direction. So that's your right arm going backwards first. And we're going to keep the gaze pointing straight ahead. So if you watch me, I'm going to turn, but my gaze is going to keep straight ahead until I can't stay watching there anymore. And I'm going to flick the head round as I come back to the front. I'll just show you that one more time. I'm going to turn in a clockwise direction, keeping my gaze to the front, flick around to complete the circle. So our first 3 repetitions of the 3 Tibetans are 3 turns. So we're going to do that together. Inhaling, exhale as you turn. Inhale, exhale, final turn, exhale, come to the front, let any fluctuations subside, and inhale, take your arms overhead, palms together, and exhale, turn the palms towards the ground and take the arms back down. And let your breathing come back to normal. So that's your first Tibetan rite. The others are ground-based, floor-based, so I'm going to move the camera as I come down to the floor. So our second Tibetan, hopefully you can still see me, I'll check in with the camera in a second. Our second Tibetan rite is a crunch. So we're going to lie flat on the floor. Probably better if I make the camera over here actually. We're going to lie flat on the floor. And as we exhale, we're going to take our legs up and we're going to lift. Hopefully you can still see me. Going to lift head and shoulders and lift palms of the hand. So we inhale to the floor and we exhale, we squeeze in the belly, lift up the legs, heels to the ceiling, lift up the head and shoulders, lift up the arms. Inhale, right. So let's start our 3 repetitions. Inhaling on the floor, exhale to lift. Inhaling twice, exhaling. Inhaling 3rd time, exhaling. And inhale to come back down to the floor. Relax your legs and relax your hands. Enjoy a couple of breaths, letting your breathing come back to normal. In case you can't see me very well, I am going to share a little practice sheet after the session. So our 3rd Tibetan is on our knees. So you might want to pad under your knees a little bit for this one. Again, hopefully you can see me in the shot. We're going to come onto our knees, padding underneath the knees if you need that, if you feel like you need a little bit of support under your knees. Toes curled under. Think about pressing the pelvis forwards and lifting through the breastbone, squeezing in the belly. You're going to bring your hands onto your pelvis. As we inhale, you're going to lift the breastbone towards the sky, and maybe, if it's comfortable for you, releasing the neck back. If that doesn't work for your body, you can keep the chin in towards the chest. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to exhale, chin to chest. Then inhale, lift, breastbone to sky, squeezing elbows towards each other, maybe releasing the head if that works for you. Exhale, chin to chest, crown of the head to sky. Inhale, breastbone to sky, maybe releasing the head. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, this is our last one. Exhale. Sit hips to heels. And enjoy a couple of breaths. So our first Tibetan is the turning. Our second Tibetan is the crunches on the back. The third Tibetan is this back bending, like if you know your yoga poses, like camel pose. Our third Tibetan is tabletop. So for this one, we're going to sit. You might want to sit on a folded blanket. We're going to sit with the legs straight, the heels pressing away. We're going to bring the hands either side of the hips, fingertips pointing forwards, with the heels of the hands maybe a few inches behind your pelvis. Hopefully you can see me on the camera here. So my fingertips are about in line with my pelvic bone, the pointy parts of my hip on either side. So I'm going to take my feet about a foot, about the length of my foot apart, so roughly hip width apart. And we're going to inhale, put the soles of the feet on the ground, lift the hips to the sky, looking at the ceiling, and we're going to exhale, sitting down, crown of the head to the sky. So we're going to do that 3 times. Ready? Enjoy one round of breath before we start. Inhale and exhale. Now inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Third time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And you might want to decompress your wrists, if that's quite strong on your wrists, by pulling the wrist flesh away from the joints, pulling hands, pulling above the wrist, away from the wrist and below the wrist. This helps decompress the joint after we've had the weight on them. So that's our 4th Tibetan, and our final Tibetan is, if you know your yoga poses, it's downward dog to upward dog. So I will demonstrate that for you. So we're going to come onto hands and knees. Spreading the fingers wide. Wrists are under the shoulders. Drawing your belly in. And we're going to turn the toes under and lift the hips. Lifting the hips towards the sky so that we're bringing the body into a V shape. Hopefully you can see me. Rooting the heels down towards the earth. And now as we inhale, we're going to bend the knees. No, actually we're not going to bend the knees. Scratch that one. We're going to drop the thighs towards the earth and stay on the balls of the feet. So you're dropping your hips down and reaching forward through the heart, through the breastbone. So we exhale back, we inhale forwards. So we're going to do that 3 times. So starting in downward dog, inhale here, exhale here, and then 3 repetitions, inhaling forwards, exhaling back, second time, inhaling forwards, exhaling back, third time, inhaling forwards, exhaling back, and then resting here, maybe in downward dog for a couple of breaths, or maybe bringing the knees down to the mat, take them a little wider, tops of the feet on the mat, forehead can rest either on the mat or on a cushion. Give yourself a couple of breaths to allow your breathing to come back to normal. And that's your first set of 5 Tibetans. So we've got the turning just in a clockwise direction. Keep the gaze facing forwards. Then we've got the crunches. Then we've got the camel pose. Then we've got the tabletop. And then we've got the dog exercise at the end. So you can use this little video to do your 3 repetitions. I'm going to go live again sometime over the weekend. I'll let you know when. With less talking and more practicing, probably 5 repetitions if you want to join me for that. At the end of your practice, feel free to come down to your mat, lying down on your back, and bring your hands onto the floor, either side of the body, palms facing the ceiling, if that works for your body, and legs long and comfortably wide, maybe with a cushion underneath the backs of your knees, if it's more comfortable for you to have your legs supported. And close your eyes and give yourself between 3 and 10 breaths. I'll talk you through that now if you'd like to do that. So, making yourself comfortable on the floor. Shoulder blades away from your ears. Hands comfortably away from your body. Palms facing up if that works for your shoulder configuration. If it's not comfortable, then however is comfortable for your arms. Legs extending long. Feet relaxing away from each other. Maybe pop a cushion under the backs of your knees. And give your body the gift of rest for 5 more breaths, or however long you want to gift yourself. It may be that you want to stay there after I finish this video. Letting your body integrate the benefits of an activating practice, the cleanse stimulating practice of the 5 Tibetans. So thank you for joining me this evening. Thank you for bearing with my amateur camera work. I'm wishing you a very peaceful evening or day if you're watching this in the morning. When you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, your relaxation, feel free to roll yourself onto your right hand side, curl yourself up, give yourself a couple of breaths, curled up like a cocoon, curled up like a seed, the seed of your intentions that you have planted, the intention that you focused in on at the beginning of this practice. or if you're happy to stay where you are, feel free to do that for as long as you have time and for as long as you want to give yourself that gift of nurturing. Enjoy your day, enjoy your evening. Be gentle with yourself. Namaste. Thank you very much.